Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're getting right into the gritty reality of what it actually means to quit sugar. Now, just real quick up top, this is purely for educational purposes, all right? It's not medical advice. You should always consult a healthcare professional before making any massive changes to your diet. With that out of the way, let's dive right in. So look at this quote here. I used to think quitting sugar was just about willpower. I was wrong. Man, that really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That's the exact trap so many of us fall into. We have this super naive expectation that cutting out sugar is just a quick, easy switch. You figure, hey, I'll just rely on some sheer discipline, cut out the junk, and boom, I'll instantly feel amazing. But if you've ever actually tried it, you know that is almost never how the story actually goes. The reality? It's way more complex and honestly a whole lot more fascinating. Today, we're breaking down 5 surprising, genuine realities about quitting sugar that completely blindside most people. Because, look, if you go in blind, you are practically setting yourself up for frustration. But if you understand these 5 key biological and behavioral shifts ahead of time, it totally changes the game. It sets you up for actual long-term success.
Point 1, the biological backlash.
If you've ever tried to cut back on sweets and just felt absolutely awful, your feelings are totally valid. Sugar withdrawal is a very real, documented physical and mental reaction. Studies on the brain's reward pathways actually show that sugar activates dopamine in a way that's remarkably similar to certain addictive substances. So when you eat it, your brain literally lights up, flooding your system with these feel-good chemicals. And when you suddenly pull the plug, you aren't just missing a treat. Your brain is going through a sudden, massive dopamine drought. That is exactly why those tension headaches, the intense irritability, and those wild, almost aggressive cravings just hit you like a freight train in those first 3 to 5 days. It's not in your head, it's totally biological. Knowing this up front, it's a total superpower. It stops you from thinking you're failing and just throwing in the towel on day 2. Moving on to point 2, the hidden traps. Now, I know it sounds super obvious, but sugar isn't just candy and soda. So many folks think that simply passing on dessert or skipping their afternoon cola means they're suddenly on a sugar-free diet. We really need to shatter that illusion right now. Holding on to that misconception is exactly the thing that silently derails the whole process for so many well-intentioned people. The real danger here is in these hidden sugar culprits. Just think about a standard dinner. That totally innocent-looking half cup of store-bought pasta sauce, it could easily be hiding more sugar than a couple of chocolate chip cookies. It's wild when you realize it. Salad dressings, your everyday sandwich bread, and those heavily marketed healthy granola bars you grab after a workout, they are often absolutely loaded with added sweeteners. Food manufacturers pump sugar into these things to mask the blandness of highly processed ingredients, which basically turns savory, everyday foods into secret desserts. Because of this, reading ingredient labels literally has to become a non-negotiable habit for you. You just can't trust the glowing health halos and clever marketing jargon on the front of the box. You've got to flip it over and actually look at the ingredients list on the back.
All right, point 3, the energy dip.
When it comes to relearning energy, your body goes through this really fascinating, though definitely uncomfortable, micro-journey. Step 1, you remove those quick sugar spikes. And naturally, this leads straight into step 2. You experience temporary energy crashes. So why does this happen? Well, for years, your body has been used to getting this cheap, incredibly fast fuel. It's kind of like trying to heat a house by only burning paper, right? It burns super bright and hot for a second, and then bam, you're freezing again. Your body is basically panicking because it suddenly has to do the hard work of breaking down complex nutrients. But if you just hold on, you'll reach step 3. Your body adapts to steady, sustained energy from protein, fiber, and healthy fats. This adjustment period where your energy actually gets worse before it gets better is completely normal. It is absolutely not a sign that something is wrong with you or that the diet is failing. It's just your biological engine relearning how to run efficiently on high-grade fuel. Which brings us to point 4, the overcorrection. Often, in a total panic to cut sugar, people will overcorrect and just completely eliminate natural, nutrient-dense foods like fruit, mistakenly thinking all sugar acts exactly the same in the body. But listen, there is a massive biological difference between eating a whole apple and eating a donut. Yes, whole fruit comes packaged with natural sugar, but it is bundled within this dense matrix of fiber and water. And that fiber acts like a physiological brake pad, significantly slowing down the digestion and absorption of the sugar into your bloodstream. Refined sugar, on the other hand, it's completely stripped of its natural context, it's highly processed, lacks any fiber whatsoever, and causes those rapid, destructive spikes in your blood glucose and insulin levels. So the really crucial thing to remember here is that the goal isn't to get to zero sugar across the board. It's specifically about cutting out the added, processed, refined stuff. Whole, fresh fruit is absolutely not the enemy here.
And finally, point 5, the long game.
Looking at the actual physiological timeline of quitting sugar really puts the whole struggle into perspective, and it shows you exactly why giving up too soon is such a tragedy. In days 1 through 5, as we covered, you're in the thick of the headaches and the withdrawal symptoms. It's rough, for sure. Then you hit that messy intermediate phase with the energy crashes while your metabolism physically shifts gears. But weeks 2 and 3, that is where the magic finally happens. If you can make it here, your taste buds literally physically recalibrate. Those intense cravings finally fade away. Foods that used to taste perfectly normal to you, like a standard milk chocolate bar or a typical soda, will actually start tasting almost aggressively unpleasantly sweet. You'll bite into a ripe strawberry and it will taste like candy. This biological shift proves that patience matters so much more than willpower. You just have to give your biology the necessary time to catch up and rewire itself. So here's the final verdict, the absolute core advice you need for success on this journey. Go in knowing the facts. Don't let the withdrawals surprise you. Start slow if you need to. Read your labels on absolutely everything you buy. And most importantly, give it more than just a few days before you judge how you're feeling. If you aren't blindsided by the hidden sugars or those temporary metabolic crashes, pushing through that initial struggle is absolutely worth the incredible, clear-headed energy you get on the other side. To wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to chew on. And just a quick reminder one last time to always talk to your doctor before making major diet changes. But ask yourself, what is the single hardest food for you to give up? Think deeply about it. Is it that morning pastry, the afternoon soda, or maybe the late-night bowl of ice cream? Recognizing your own personal hurdles is the very first step to actually conquering